Time for some horrible and shocking news to you. EA, one of America's least favored companies, has been discovered to be making more matchmaking shenanigans online that will result in basically you giving them more money for microtransactions and loot boxes.
What?
2017 was basically the year of the loot boxes, and what this means specifically is using microtransactions. Certain games or publishers have hurt their games by employing this method. With first it started with cosmetic only, which is something that Overwatch utilizes, and I always use Overwatch as an example because that's the game I like to play online. And but that has moved in other places to having microtransactions, and the things you would buy would affect your gameplay, would affect your outcome. And we've seen that this has become an issue. Specifically, we saw Activision earlier this year having issues with it. Not earlier this year, a few months ago, in which they had a patent that showed different ways to matchmake people that would result in higher microtransaction purchases. Right. There were also certain details such as having the idea that streamers could show what equipment they were using and enable viewers to purchase it right away with the real money. They incentivize people watching other players open loot boxes. It's a system designed to make you feel jealous of what other players are getting. But in particular, what they did, and this is what's similar to the EA, is they will intentionally pair new players with experienced players in order to make the new players feel like
I have to be better.
I need to catch up. How can I do this? I want to have what they have. I'm a good player. If I had that, I could be just as good. And that results in paying for more. So, and a really intrepid YouTuber, YongYea, who I do recommend his channel. It's really great for this kind of upsetting bullshit information. He found some papers, some research papers about EA games. It seems to be that it's not really clear which games they are. They could be FIFA. They could be, in one case, Bejeweled. And it looks like this may be some of the other multiplayer shooters, the more popular ones. You can put your own conclusions on this. But he found these papers, and they're available publicly on the ACM Digital Library. You can read the abstract yourself, and you can do that now with basically nothing stopping you, nothing impeding you.
But you know, the weird thing is, I mean, obviously in-game purchases have been happening for a long time. I play a lot of games on my phone when I have to wait for stuff, and you know, but you're not being pitted against other players I mean, not in all of them, but the ones that I play. But it's really hard to stop yourself from doing it sometimes. Like, I actually finally deleted certain games because of that. Very difficult.
I have something for you.
You do?
Okay, so what they found, or what YongYea found in these papers that they were conducting through research, is they had distilled down certain characteristics of players, perhaps the install date, win ratio, how long you've been playing, etc., to make essentially an algorithm. And that algorithm helps determine certain things that would keep you in the game longer. They want a higher retention rate. They want you to stay in the game. And essentially, they rely on something called churn risk. Churn risk is the risk that you will disengage or stop playing. Like, if you were just like, I've had it with this game, I'm uninstalling it, I'm done. So they try to reduce churn risk with that. So with that, they do something called dynamic difficulty adjustments. And with that, they will essentially, let's say you've won 2 games, right? You're doing really well. EA, using the system, will artificially make the matchmaking harder for you. So it's predicted that you will likely lose your next game. Let's say you're in a lose streak and you're close to the point, you're hitting the churn rate or the churn risk. They would make it artificially easier for you after this. So there's nothing in the system that says your input or your choices for this. This is the matchmaking system doing this without telling you, which is, in essence, a very manipulative choice. This is essentially EA plotting out your whole win-lose record for you.
Yeah, and if you're dealing with that sort of thing, then you're no longer really playing a game. It's no longer fair and it's no longer fun. And you also have to remember there are a lot of kids playing this. Not that everything should be fixed for kids, but
No, that's funny that you said it's not fair and fun. One of these papers specifically outlines fairness and fun as not being goals for them. The goal is retention, and in some cases, the DDA issue can be spun into manipulating people into microtransactions as opposed to just retention.
Yeah.
So it is manipulative on several levels, but it can be highly manipulative in other ways. These were implemented into tests without people knowing. It seems they were in FIFA and NHL and Bejeweled specifically, though it could have been spun into other ones. They filed for this patent in March of 2016. So it seems likely they've already received the patent or they're about to receive the patent, which means this is imminent, if not already happening.
Not if people get a hold of the information like you're doing right now.
I mean,
people get really angry about this stuff and then they revolt.
Yeah, I've had it with EA basically. Yeah. I mean, we saw what happened. People did cause a change.
Yep.
With the Battlefront 2 issue with certain characters not being playable at all unless you put in 40 hours of game time or you spend some money, extra money, on top of the $60 to $80 you've already spent on the full version of the game. And what the takeaway here is these games are not focused on fun. These games are not focused on fairness. The games are focused on gaming you, on taking away your money, or more of your money rather, and for keeping you in an experience that maybe you don't even find enjoyable anymore. I know I've had games where I was just grinding it and I was like, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better. It never got better, and I hate certain games now. And it's hard, and what this distills you down to is you're an algorithm, you're a number, you're a piece of data. This isn't passionate game making, this is just purely manipulative, monetized game making. I know the goal of any company is to make money, but there should be other goals as well, including, especially if you're playing a game, fun. Fun should be a major factor.
What?
And we have quantitative data that it's not. That they specifically said this is not a goal. Retention is a goal. Engagement is a goal. Fun, fairness, I don't know. You might expect games to be fair and fun, but there's some data to show that that is not what the companies who make your games believe. Audience, do you think you have been manipulated through matchmaking, through online matchmaking in which you were thrown into supposedly a fair situation? Please let us know below, and please like and subscribe for more.